Hey friends and family, so you're in a flight. So the captain announces that we have lost all engines and the aircraft goes into silent mode. We don't have the APU, we have lost hydraulic pressure, there's very minimal control of the aircraft. This, my friend, is time where the RAT system kicks in, or the RAM air turbine system. Don't worry, the RAT system is not a bunch of rodents powering the aircraft. It is actually a turbine that supplies electrical and hydraulic power to the aircraft to power necessary equipment and crucial systems on board the aircraft for the pilots to actually safely reroute the aircraft to the closest airport. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank all of you for actually helping me to achieve my first 100 subscribers and 1,200 views from my previous videos. For more aviation facts and drama related content with regards to aviation, please subscribe to my channel right now. I really appreciate that. So, when is the RAT deployed, you may ask? Under normal conditions, the RAT is actually stored in a compartment in the fuselage or in the wing. It can be deployed manually when required, or in some installations, it will deploy automatically following a complete loss of AC power. In the interval between the loss of power and RAT deployment, the aircraft batteries are used to power essential instrumentations. So that helps during the changeover. What systems does the RAT actually supply? Well, for example, the RAT on the A330 supplies hydraulic pressure to the green hydraulic system. So there's actually three hydraulic systems, the green, yellow and the blue. In the case of a dual engine failure, the RAT will supply flight controls and the emergency generator. The RAT may also be extended manually at any time by pressing the RAT man switch, which is normally located at the top. Alternatively, the RAT will deploy automatically in case of a dual engine failure or in the event of a hydraulic low level in either green and yellow or the green and blue systems. Normal hydraulic pressure on the A330 is about 3000 psi, but the RAT will only supply about 2500 psi. When the RAT supplies green hydraulic pressure, the aileron, elevators and spoilers, servo control, operating speeds are reduced. To know more about hydraulic systems of an aircraft, on which system distributes to what, please do check out my video, which is linked right about here. So, when is a RAT test actually done? A RAT test is normally done during a scheduled maintenance inspection. It is normally done by backdriving the turbine to see if necessary supply is being actually supplemented to the crucial systems on board the aircraft. So mainly the generators and the hydraulic systems, which are crucial to flight controls, are normally energized by the RATs. Hence, this is actually inspected during the test. An example of when the use of the RAM air turbine was on Air Transat TS236 on August 24, 2001. This flight was an Airbus A330 from Toronto to Lisbon. 4 hours into the flight over the Atlantic Ocean, a fuel line supplying engine number 2 ruptured, resulting in a fuel leak. The flight crew was, however, not aware of this rupture that has happened to the fuel line that was supplying to engine number 2. After some time, the crew received a warning of a fuel imbalance between the wings and still were unaware of the leak. The crew then carried out procedures based on the Quick Reference Handbook to balance the fuel between the two wings. This subsequently led to the loss of fuel and the flame out of both engines, as they were actually emptying the fuel on the engine that was running good. This subsequently led to the fuel and the flame out of both engines, as they were actually draining the fuel from the engine that was running good. The RAT was then deployed and supplied hydraulic power, which in turn drove the emergency generator, which provided vital power to the aircraft. The deployment of the RAT allowed limited control, but good enough for the aircraft to actually be airborne and fly to the nearest airfield. Despite the loss of both engines and with minimal instrumentation, the crew managed to glide the A330 to a successful landing at Lajes Airport. While there was some criticism of the initial actions of the crew, and following this event, crew procedures were updated. What they achieved was still far amazing. To glide a passenger aircraft to a safe landing in the middle of the Atlantic is nothing short than an amazing flight. And it shows the crucial role of the RAT was played in that scenario. So once again, the RAT is not a rodent system, but a very important system, especially in times of emergency. Hence, while I hope that the red will never be deployed at any of your flights, don't worry, you got it covered when both your engines are even on flame out. Until next time, positive climb, gear up.